All right, let's talk about scale 2.3, which is finding the slope and rate of change. So the same idea of a linear function. So when we talk about slope, what we're referring to is specifically the steepness of the line. We want to be able to quantify or describe it using numbers, how steep a line is, whether it's going up, like you see in the picture, or if it's going down. And the way that we talked about that is how much is it rising and how much is it running. In other words, how much does it change with the output values and how much did it change with the input values. Another way of saying that would be how did it change with the y values and how did it change with the x values. So we want to be able to do this both with the graph and also with just coordinates. So let's look at the graph first, and I'm going to show you how to transition that idea to the coordinates really easily. So looking here, I have 2 points. I'm going to write the coordinates. Remember, it's x first, then y. And if I wrote that this first coordinate, the x value would be 1, and then the y value would be 2. The other coordinate here is 3 for the x value and 5 for the y value. So let me write that there. There we go. So to find the slope for those 2 coordinates, we could look on the graph and be like, okay, well, how far did it change from there to there? Well, I can see that the x values were 1 and 3. So what's the difference between 1 and 3? Well, one way of thinking about it is, what do I need to add to 1 to get it to be 3? Well, that's just plus 2. So this moved to the right 2. Let's look at the y values. I'm going to change my color. The y values here were 5 and 2. So how do I go from 2 to 5? Well, I have to add 3. So I went up 3. So my rise was 3. And it was positive. My run was 2. Now it's positive. So the slope or steepness of this line is 3 over 2. And that means for every 2 I go to the right, I have to go up 3. For every 2 I go to the right, I have to go up 3. I have to maintain that ratio of 3 up, 2 to the right. So now I want to transition that idea to coordinates. Because a traditional way of finding the slope, and there's nothing wrong with it, is to think of it as a formula where you are looking at the difference between the 2 y values, hence why it's y2 and y1, and the difference between the 2 x values, x2 and x1. But sometimes that gets a little confusing because you have these negatives in there, and if negatives go in, people get confused, and plus you kind of miss sight of what you're actually trying to find. Just know that really we just need to see how it's changing with the y's and how it's changing with the x's. So for this one, let's look at it with just the coordinates. Imagine we didn't have the graph. There's no graph there. We know what the answer should be, so let me show you a way of finding it. So I'm going to look at the y's first. Remember, the y values are the value on the right of the comma. So to go from 2 to 5, I have to add 3. So right away, I know my rise is 3. For the x values, to go from 1 to 3, how much did it change? Well, it went from 1 to 3, I have to add 2. So it went right 2. Or in other words, that's the same thing as what we saw here. It went right 2 and up 3. And I'm done. And the cool part is this works for any 2 coordinates if you want to find the slope between those 2 coordinates. So let's do a few. So if I look at A, I'm going to look at the y value first. So in this case, it's 8. How do I get 8 to become 7? I'm going to subtract 1. If I subtract 1 for the y, that means I'm going down 1. And now I need to figure out how to change with the x values. It went from 0 to 4, so that went plus 4. So therefore, I'm going to go right 4. So my slope is going to be negative 1/4. Or in other words, down 1 for every 4. Okay, let's do another one. Again, I'm going to start with the y value. So to go from 10 to 16, that went up 6. Then I'll go to the 5 to the 9. To get 5 to be 9, that is plus 4. So I have to go right 4. So let's write the rise. That's plus 6, or in other words, positive 6, plus 4, or in other words, positive 4. And that right there would be my slope, 6 over 4. Now, I could simplify the slope into the simplest form. I could do that, but for now, that would be an acceptable slope. So if I look at C now we got some negatives in here. So this is where it gets a little tricky. So I'm still going to look at the y value. So to go 8 to 15, the difference between there is 7. In other words, I have to add 7 to 8 to get to be 15. So I know my rise is positive 7. But now to go from negative 12 to 8. Ooh, how do I change there? Well, it's tempting to say negative 4, but it's not right. I can't just combine negative 12 and 8. Think of it in this way, like a number line. See if I can zoom it in a little bit. There we go. Give me some space. So imagine, here's negative 12. Let me put down the other x value, 8, over here. There's a 0 somewhere there in between, right? So to go from negative 12 to 8, I have to go right 12, so there's plus 12, and then another 8. So in other words, to go from negative 12 to 8, I have to add 20, because 12 plus 8 is 20. So I'm going to add 20 to negative 20. Sorry, add 20 to negative 12, and that will give me my 8. So therefore, that went right 20, and it's positive. So therefore, my slope would be 7 over 20, and that's the slope. There you go. So let's try D. We got some negatives in here. Let's see how this goes. So to go from negative 6 to negative 9, ooh, this is a little bit of a challenge. Again, if it's hard to think about it, think about a number line. Here's negative 6. Where would negative 9 be? It'd be more negative to the left. Well, how do I go from negative 6 to negative 9? Well, I have to go left 3, or in other words, I have to subtract 3. So my rise is negative. I have to go down 3. And then let's look at the x values. To go from negative 20 to negative 15. Again, if you need a number line to help you think about it, draw one. I'll put down negative 15 here. Negative 20 is more negative, so it's to the left. So now the question is, how do I go from negative 20 to negative 15? Ooh, I have to go right to see that direction. Let me show it to you. I have to go right. How much? I have to go right 5. So right away, that's positive 5. Or in other words, I have a slope of down 3, right 5. And that right there is going to be my slope. Okay? So with that, if you're given 2 coordinates, you're just looking for the change of the y with the change of x. Hence why you can see this notation right here. It's just the change of the y and change of the x. In other words, the difference of the outputs and over the difference of the inputs. Or if you prefer the little notation here, that right there is your slope. Okay? You can just subtract the 2 y values, subtract the 2 x values, and that will give it 2. Now be very careful if you do that, because really we're not just subtracting here, we're looking for the difference. I've always preferred not using this just because it gets a little tricky. I prefer the method that you see me doing here, simply for the reason is it matches the idea you would do if I gave you the graph, similar to what we did here. Okay? So let me finish with E and F. These are challenging just because you don't see any nice coordinates. You don't have any numbers, you just see a line. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at this line right here, and I'm just going to follow it until I see where a horizontal line and a vertical line meet, such as right here. So I'm going to put a little a point there. And I'm just going to keep following it. Notice I'm just following it until I get to right here. See, those match up right here. So I'm going to put another coordinate or another point there, and I'm just going to keep going. I see another one here. And really, I just need 2. So I could have stopped at this point here, the middle one, because now all I need to figure out is, okay, how much did it change? Well, the numbers are important here. Excuse the bell, because it went from 30 to 40. So therefore, this one right 10. Some of you might want to say it went right 1. I can see why you would say that, because it did go 1 box over. But notice the numbers are 30 to 40, so we went right 10. And then, be careful, it's not right up 3, because these numbers are going by 10 as well. See? This one up 1 10, 2 10, 3 10s, or another word, 30. And you can see that again. I can go right 10 and then up 10, 20, 30. I can go right 10, go up 10, 20, 30. So in other words, my slope is I'm going up 30 for every 10. This one, again, I think it would be better to simplify. If you left it there, technically you're right. But notice if I divide 30 by 10, that just gives me 3 for every 1. So my slope, I can just write as 3, because really writing over 1 is just more work, I feel like. But if you want to write 3 over 1, that's fine. You're showing that there is this ratio of 3 for everyone, and I'm perfectly fine with it. That's okay. Let's look at F, and then we'll be finished. So this one, if I'm looking at the line, again, same idea. It doesn't matter where I start. I can start here on the left. I know it's going down, so I know my slope needs to be negative. So let me just kind of start here and work my way to the right. I'm looking for nice coordinates. This one's really close, but it's not quite there. Looking. Oh man, are we gonna find any nice points? Oh, I see one right here. Okay. Whew, one's right there. See if we can find another one. I'm just kind of going down that line, looking, hoping. Please, I don't want this to be. Oh, this one's so close right there. But I don't think it quite matches up. And then until right here, this actually matches perfectly. So I'm going to put another coordinate there. So the hard part about these graphs is figuring out where are I call them nice coordinates simply because you see the vertical and horizontal match. Because then I don't have to do a whole lot of guessing. And so now if I zoom this in just a tad, let's look at what the actual slope of this line is. I'm going to look at the numbers because it looks like it goes 20 then 40. So it's going by 20s. But in between, there's a line here, which means this here would be 30, which means this is 10. So it's actually counting by tens. That's important to know for the y's. It also looks the same for the x's also. So therefore, I know this is 10, 30, 40, 50. So now let's figure out how much does it change. Well, I can draw a triangle in here and went over 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of those, and then if each of these lines is 10, that's 1, 10, 2, 10, 3, 10, 4 10s, or in other words, it went right 40. Okay, because it went from 10 to 50. See the difference between there is 40. And then I'm going to have to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that would be 9 10s. 1, 10, 2, 10, 3, 10, 4, 10, 5, 10, 6, 10, 7, 10, 8, 10, 9, 10, or in other words, I have 9 10s, that is really 90. Okay, and you can kind of see that this is 10 and this is negative 80. To get from 10 to negative 80, I have to subtract 90. So let me actually write it as negative 90. Okay. So I have my rise. It's actually going down. So therefore, it's going down 90. And now I need my run, which is going right 40. And that would be my slope. I could simplify it because I can divide both the top and bottom by 10. That would leave me with negative 9 over 4. But either of these would be acceptable at this point. Eventually, we'll get to the whole simplifying of slopes. But that right there is exactly what you would do for a graph. So there you go. Hopefully that helps. Let me know if it doesn't.